Do well to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Gospel. So who do we have here?
You have Tammy here.
Tammy. Okay. Tammy. All right, Tammy. Welcome. So what we do is that we go around, we ask people questions. Right? I get to ask you a question based on your belief, and in return, you get to ask me a question based on my. So it's back and forth. So first question I would like to ask you now: are you a Christian? Before I go on to ask.
Well, I'm a Christian, yes.
Okay. So as a Christian, what would you say the name of God is?
The name of God to me is sacred. It's sacred. It's really, really sacred because this is what a lot of people don't understand. You see, names are special. Names have meaning. Names command meaning. So if we take our names as special, as unique, as important as we do, then you should understand that he takes his name as important as we do as well.
But does he gives out his name? Does God, the God of Christianity now, give out his name?
Well, he gave us his name.
And what would that name be?
He says he is Jehovah. That was what he told Moses. And apart from that instance, he has always gone by titles and references. It was only in that instance he said his name, because it was not a matter of him giving instruction. It was a matter of him proving at that point in time who he is to Moses. So yes.
Okay. And you're sure that that's his name?
That is what I know his name is.
Okay. Actually, you're correct. Why? Because, for instance, I don't know if you know of the story of the burning bush, Moses.
Yes.
Yeah. So, for instance, and that's his name. Form of his name is mentioned, I believe, 6,000 times plus throughout the Bible. And for Moses and the burning bush, God was speaking to Moses, and He says, "I am the Lord, the God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and this is the memorial name with which you are to remember me throughout all generations." Right? And when we look at the word "the Lord," right, when God's speaking that the Lord, this is my name, the Lord, we will see that those are four Hebrew consonants. Right? Actually, the root word are four Hebrew consonants: YHWH, Yed Ho Wahe, Yed Ho Wahe. So, and those the form to the two names, they are debates, although they are debates, but the two acceptable names that is being called is Yehovah or Yahweh. You understand? So those are forms of his name. So you're spot on that. So time for you to ask you your question.
Okay, fine. I will ask. I'll ask a very controversial topic.
Okay.
So there is this thing where, is there anything like being overly religious?
Overly religious. I've only, that's the first time I've been asked that question. But you have to clarify. What do you mean? Like,
Basically, now here's my standpoint. I know, I believe in the God. I believe in God. I believe in Jehovah. I also believe in the principles he dropped. Now he created the world, and the world is running self-sufficiently because the world is running on principles. So he gave those principles to us. Before that, he jumbled them up into 10, gave it to Moses. We still follow that. So when Jesus came, he jumbled them up into 2. Because when they asked Jesus about the commandment, he said the actual commandment, you cannot keep it. Just keep these 2. We are still fumbling them. So there are still people that claim, they'll read the Bible, they'll start picking out, things and saying, oh, in this realm, in that realm, and the realms and whatever things they say and all that. So that is why the question is there. Is there anything like being overly religious?
like trying to observe more than.
Trying to form, or how will I say, trying to bring out meanings or find meanings when there is none. Or trying to just scale over. Because all of us, the book of Romans says we have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. But we discover that even in the body of Christ, people judge people for sinning differently. There is this connotation from the Catholic Church of the 7 deadly sins. Now, there are some people that engage in one of those sins, or the lesser part of those sins, and judge others for engaging in what they call the more popular part of those sins. Meanwhile, they are all sins. So at that point in time, are they now Christians, or are they just overly religious people?
Okay, I get what you're saying. When someone tries to um, judge others based on other sins without and try to justify their own, right? In that sense, trying to okay, in that sense, yeah. Okay, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, like Jesus would always say, that many of them are hypocrites. Many of them are hypocrites, and Jesus clarified this. For instance, he says in, I believe, Matthew chapter 7, right? Matthew chapter 7, you should take off the scales in your own eyes. Yeah, before you reveal the scales in your own eyes. So meaning you don't see yourself above others. right? See yourself as being capable of the same sin that others are going through. Don't see yourself because you're free, or you have how do you have victory over some certain parts of desires. Over, let's say for instance, the common one is lust. When you see someone done lust after someone, you begin to. By the way, there are other parts of this that you are even struggling with. It might be even pride.
Gluttony.
So,
Yes.
yes.
You know, so that is it.
Yes.
People
So,
just
so it's
Jesus Christ don't. Funny enough, Jesus said what he does not like. The only time he said something he does not like, he said it is being like the Pharisees and Sadducees. He don't like hypocrites. He said you stand in the door, you're not coming in, but you don't still want others to come in. Now that is what he is no. But there are a lot of people in the body of Christ today that are standing at the door. They don't want others to go in. They don't want to go in. They're just serving as hindrances and blockades. There are a lot of people that have stopped church because of people.
yes. True. I agree.
I was one of them.
Oh wow.
There are a lot of people that have even said, "You see this Jesus thing, I need to do it again." So at that point in time now, if you are now speaking to somebody in that category, what should you tell the person?
Okay. For that's actually a good question, I must say. Let me think of my response. Okay. No, I have to think of my response. So, first of all, you have to understand that. For instance, I'll make this analogy. It says sometimes when you see someone, maybe you're going to a particular church and you see there's roadblocks and obstruction there, right? Some people are giving you, they are making themselves a stumbling block to you and to the salvation of others. Just like the way when you're not comfortable with a particular job, what do you do for? You look for another job. You understand? You keep looking till you find the one that you're comfortable. So you have to change. You have to change the church you are going to. You have to. You have to. You have to. You have to. For you might say in your particular context, maybe the person is a parent to you, or maybe a sibling. I don't know how the relationship may be, and maybe they are at that point in time. Maybe they are forcing you to. You understand? I don't know, but primarily you will have to, if you can, if you are in a particular scenario where you have to, you can change. You have to change so that you don't end up losing faith. Because Jesus actually says, Matthew chapter 10, right? They are going to be sheep. They are going to be wolves among the sheep. So, and there are wolves in every church, right? There are wolves in every church, in every denomination, whatever you want to call it, and in every sect. There are always people who want to destroy. But Jesus promised that He's always faithful to raise up shepherds that will silence those wolves. Right? He's always faithful to raise up true shepherds that will silence them. So there will be wolves. There will be people who will try to fight you, even, and they will be called Christians. They will label themselves as Christians. Right? But another thing James says, I would like to add, is that James says in James chapter 1, verse 26, 27, he said true religion is the one that, let's read it together, actually. Let me turn my Bible so I can show you. Come on, let me widen my screen. James chapter 1, where James gives the definition of what it means to be religious. What it means to be religious. Now, James chapter 1, 26, 27, he said, if anyone among you think he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his own heart, this one religion is what? Useless. But pure and undefiled religion before God and Father is this, to visit the orphans, the widow in their trouble, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world. Meaning that person is not a Christian. Anyone that tries to be a stumbling block is truly not a Christian. And they are considered wolves, meaning you have to stay away from them. Wolves, do you go closer to them?
No, of course not.
You have to stay away. So you have to go away from them. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes.
So if I'm to ask another question, why are you a Christian?
Well, because of Jesus, I would just say, and that is because if you look at it, my experience now has been, I was in a rough patch, and then I got pulled out of the rough patch. I can't still explain how that happened, what happened. So that funny enough, I had this conversation with someone a while ago, and I told the person, I said, if today they should tell me, oh, heaven is not actually true, hell is not true, and all those kind of things, you don't have to go to heaven and all those, I'll still believe in Jesus. Why? Because he has done some things for me.
You've experienced.
I've experienced him. So whether or not the heaven, I don't even care about that one. I shall just know who he is, and I just want to be with him. At least he has earned my respect.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, this is wonderful. Please do it to like and share and subscribe also if you're watching this. So I love your response. Jesus, for instance, Jesus. In fact, Jesus makes Christianity true. Would you agree?
Yes. He's the blueprint of what we are supposed to aspire to be. It's difficult. The world, of course, is riddled with a lot of things. But he's like, when we look up, we look at him and like, okay, he proved it to us that he came as man and proved it to us that, you can actually get there. So, we are all working there. Working on that path, getting where he was.
Okay, so true. I will also agree with you that definitely he's the blueprint. And let me check something. That he's the blueprint, and looking at Jesus makes Christianity true. And I would like to add to your point. He makes Christianity true through his life. When he came to us, he number one said that there is a God, right? You agree, and that God is his Father, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, and he also went on. He preached, right? Made claims, divine claims, like claiming to be God. He made claims about Old Testament claims where God speaks about himself, right? And Jesus would echo those words and refer those words to himself. For instance, being the first and the last, where Jesus says he's the first and last, Revelations 1:17 to 18, right? That title only belongs to God and not a creature. So Jesus claims to be God, right? Claims to forgive sins, claims to be the truth, the way, truth, and life, claims to be the one who any man, any creature can receive forgiveness, which is something no creature can claim. Can you claim that for yourself? No.
I don't even want to.
So Jesus makes those divine claims that only God can claim to do. So, and he also goes further to claim that he's going to die and in 3 days resurrect. And right currently now, so this our day, we have evidence for his resurrection. Yeah. So we have evidence that Jesus lived, was an actual man, that is not myth, he's not a myth, right? He's the actual man who lived, came to his death, lived, and also died, as he said he would, resurrected in 3 days. We have evidence for his resurrection, like the Shroud of Turin. I don't know if you've heard of
Shroud of Turin. Yes.
Shroud of Turin, which is burial cloth. And the fascinating thing about the Shroud of Turin is that his image, right? So Jesus took photograph even before science. So he took a photograph even before science. Even anyone think of designing the first camera. So you see how amazing it was. He left us with an evidence just outside the Bible. We are not talking about the Bible now, being secular in our arguments and our claim. We claim things that are outside. We have Shroud of Turin. We also have testimonies of those who are not believers, who are not Christian, who affirmed that a man named Jesus, right? Some others get his name wrong, but they affirmed that this historical thing, he was crucified by the Romans, right? For instance, Josephus, he was a Jew, not a Christian. Right, he lived and died as a Jew and not a Christian. But he affirmed that Jesus was crucified by the Romans, right? Terribly, you understand? And so we have testimony affirming the existence of Jesus, the ministry of Jesus, the crucifixion of Jesus. So we see that all these things are true, which further confirms the Old Testament, right? Which further confirms and shows that the Old Testament prophecies are true. So Christianity is true because Jesus makes it true. And he further passes on his ministry after resurrection to his followers, his disciples, his eyewitness, right, that they should continue on, which we have as the disciples, right? And they gave us sacred writings, which we believe to be inspired. Understand? So this is why I'm convinced that Christianity is true, right? Because of Jesus. So Jesus' life, existence, ministry, right, affirms that. So if you are to present to someone now that Christianity is true, what would you present? Like someone who doesn't believe in God and someone who doesn't believe in the Bible.
Well, I don't. You see, there's this thing about belief. What I will simply tell the person is go and read. Study. Just read the Bible. I don't have to do anything for you. Read the Bible. Read it. Don't read it as read it. In fact, just read it. The more you read it, especially read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Just read it. Forget the rest. The other scriptures will sound too deep for you. No problem. Just read the Gospel.
Yeah. Read it. Okay. Thank you very much. So once again, your name is
Tammy.
So my name is Gospel. Nice to meet you, Tammy. Sorry for taking much of your time. All right. So we appreciate. See you next time. If you have learned something, make sure you like the video, share to your friends, your family, your enemies, and we'll see you next on the next video. Peace.